Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So finally I've got some good news. I've just passed my latest FTMO challenge, the £140,000, which is the $200,000 challenge, and I'm really happy with that. Now I'm not going to pretend it was easy. For me it was a real slog this time round, and I went through a whole range of emotions from not enjoying trading, losing a bit of interest. But when you've obviously made that commitment to do a challenge, you've got to persevere, and whatever happens, make sure you hit the criteria of either being in profit or passing. So I started this challenge months and months ago. I actually had 2 retakes the first time round where I hadn't actually hit the 10% target. And obviously this time round I only had to make 5% in 60 days. Now after the first, I think week and a half, I was probably up 3.5%, 4% and absolutely cruising towards it. I was absolutely crushing the trading and making great profits every day. And then it just literally all fell apart. And that's some of the biggest challenges with trading. It's not actually the mechanics of finding and placing the trades, it's the emotional and the stability you need to have in your mind to be able to keep progressing day on day on day. Now I posted a video a couple of weeks back about potentially losing the passion and the interest for the trading. And it wasn't I was actually losing the desire to become a full-time trader and actually pass these challenges, more just the day-to-day grind, just not quite enjoying what I was doing. And that had a massive influence and effect in the actual results. So I went from 4% up to 4% down. It literally was an 8% swing, massive thing. It's just my head wasn't in the game. And that's where the point I had to sort of evaluate, do I need to carry on with this one? Do I need to stop for a while? Do I need to keep grinding it out? Because I know from previous past experience, many years ago, as soon as you lose that desire and that passion, you're going to hit that self-destruct button, and before you know it, you've blown the actual account. And that's what I could not do on this verification phase. And although I was getting my mental stability right, I was still trading and making profits. Every time I got back into a profitable stage, I'd throw it all away again. Get back into a nice profit, throw it all away again. And it's clear from the equity curve, from the metrics on FTMO, you can see it's just up and down, up and down. I just couldn't get my head in the game. But as things were getting closer to the actual end of the challenge, I had a certain number of days left. I really had to buckle down and just think, what do I do to get a retake? If I'm actually in profit and I haven't broken the drawdown rules, so the max loss or daily drawdown, I'll get a retake, but I have to go all the way back to the challenge phase from step 1. And I didn't want that to happen. So I just basically focused on getting that 5% goal and just making that my main objective is getting over the line. And it's very easy to break these challenges down, to think they are easy to do. We see it all the time where people on YouTube are saying, I pass in 1 day, pass in 2 days. Now, the reality is that whether you've got other things going on in your life that actually detract you from your day-to-day trading and you're not able to get your head in the game, like myself this past month, it really becomes very difficult. And the more you focus on the end target, the harder it becomes to achieve. I've said it before, we've seen it in like athletics races where the person is leading all the way around, they get towards the finish line, they basically start running through treacle. They see the end result of winning an Olympic medal, winning a world championship, and literally just cannot go any closer to the line. Someone just comes along, catches them up, and they lose. And I didn't want that to happen. I had to really dig deep and focus on getting the final results. And the last 2 or 3 days were absolutely awful. I was in a number of trades that would have got me to that target with ease, but the psychology of my mind kept saying, don't lose the money, and therefore I kept closing the trades too early. And some of the trades I was probably then 3-4 pips of actually getting to my target, but my mind was saying, close this for the profit, come back, and then just take a small trade to get over the line. Then what happened was the next trade wasn't a winner, it was then a small loser. And you're back into that vicious cycle of just literally focusing on the line and focusing on that one objective of getting the 5% target. And also in the back of your mind, there's the end date. I only have 60 days to complete. So for me, that was finishing on September 11th, so on the Saturday. And I wanted to make sure I had at least a few days spare to actually get it all completed and make sure I could actually go through with a bit of relaxation towards the final day. And luckily I managed to do it with just about a day and a half to spare. Again, I'm one of the people who actually likes working towards a deadline. When I see I've got a target of weeks and weeks to achieve something, I'll probably normally leave it to the last day anyway. And that's what you can't do on these challenges. You need to try and front load it and get all of the hard work out of the way first. And I did that on this verification, but my mind just took over and I blew it all away. So for me, the key thing to learn from this is that don't believe you're a bad trader if you're not hitting the targets in 1 or 2 days. Just literally take a bit of reflection, say, okay, what is my strategy? What is my overall goal and my aim to pass this challenge? And if your aim is to pass it in 1 day and you haven't achieved it, then fine, just move on to the next day. But for me, it was just being able to achieve it in the time I had available to me, and I managed to do that. And I'm sure you'll be exactly the same when you get into this stage of pushing towards that verification and getting fully funded. And what's really good is FTMO come back really quickly when you actually pass the challenges and the verification. And obviously now I've got all the contracts signed, just waiting on the logon details to start trading this £140,000 account, which will be fantastic. And again, looking forward to those first payouts. So I hope you've enjoyed my trials and tribulations, all the despair I went through on this journey. It wasn't easy, and be under no illusions that it is easy. It is a challenge for a reason, and there will be things happening in your life that will make it more and more difficult, but persevere, stick with it, and you will become funded. See you again soon. Cheers.